So I know it's popular right now to complain about pulse rifles, and I totally understand that. I think pulse rifles have been shouldering the blame from the PvP community for the decrease in hand cannon usage and the increase in slow-paced gameplay in the Crucible. But I think there are several factors that play a part ultimately, leading us to the sandbox we live in right now. And one factor I think is getting criminally overlooked is the power and popularity of SMGs in PvP. Again, no one factor is solely responsible for the meta, but when we zoom out and take a look at the bigger picture, here's what you're going to see. Bungie dropped most small maps out of the rotations in every playlist and replaced them with Cathedral, Widow's Court, Eternity, Disjunction, Fortress, Vostok, and others, and then usually you just start that rotation over. This dramatic and immediate shift away from smaller maps instantly led to a rise in pulse rifle popularity, and the prominence of long open lanes with little cover in them in turn led to a more restrained, careful, slow, and teamfire-oriented approach to what was otherwise a pretty casual dynamic environment. So no one is going to run a hand cannon with a pulse rifle though. And when I say no one, I mean, barely anyone at all. Obviously, there are always exceptions. But when people are considering what they want to pair with their pulse rifle in these big maps, the choices are pretty limited. They want to be able to cover all of their bases, right? Shotguns are a good pick, and they continue to be the most popular choice for special weapons picked in Destiny's PvP spaces. Sidearms, on the other hand, got a nerf to their overall aim assist drop-off range, bringing them back in a bit. And even though the nerf wasn't egregious, sidearm usage has dropped off dramatically. No sidearm even cracked the top 10 list in trials this past week, regardless of the map being a close quarters one. In fact, sidearms overall came in 7th place for kills in trials this week, behind fusions, pulses, snipers, shotguns, hand cannons, and the obvious first place, SMGs. In fact, SMGs netted over 2.5 million kills more than sidearms this weekend. No, when people are picking what weapon is going to handle their close to mid-range duels, they're landing on SMGs more than any other alternative. Now, let's talk about why. SMGs are incredible dueling weapons. They're easy to use. The top options for SMGs have little recoil overall and are easy to hold steady. Their range just keeps getting better with power creeping elements like better mag perks, better zoom values, the presence of rangefinder perks, and more. The two most popular SMGs right now are outliers in their families. They're the Ikelos SMG and the Teraba. Behind them is the Shayura's Wrath, which has always been an outlier since its initial arrival. These SMGs take duels at ranges where hand cannons used to thrive. Beyond that, they're also much more forgiving. Missing your optimal TTK with an extra body shot on an SMG, it only means a fraction of a second longer in your overall TTK since they're fully automatic. They fire very quickly. But missing your hand cannon optimal TTK means waiting much longer before you can fire off a 4th shot. In terms of forgiveness, hand cannons require a lot more precision in order to succeed. In short, the best SMGs in the game right now end up doing a lot of the work for you. With deeper range values and better zoom, the game automatically corrects your shots more frequently, giving you less recoil to manage and giving you accuracy cones that allow for more mistakes without punishing you for them. And here's where I might not make any friends, but I want to make sure that you hear what I'm saying. Don't misunderstand it. I'm not necessarily saying that it's easier to play well on mouse and keyboard, because learning M&K takes time, discipline, and rapid response times to really take full advantage of the perks that M&K offers. But that being said, mouse and keyboard allows you to take duels with these SMGs even farther away than you can manage on controller. All the Ikelos SMG footage in this video is on PC with mouse and keyboard. And there are duels in here where I'm leading with my SMG at ranges I would never dream of on controller. Taking on this guy at the top of the stairs from all the way over here at apartments, I'd never do that on controller. I'd try for a body shot with the sniper first and then move in to clean it up with the SMG. All the way down this corridor on Cathedral, You're dreaming if you think that's possible on a controller. You'd have to burst fire at that range because the gun will simply not comply, since that's way past the aim assist drop-off range for a controller. Now again, this isn't to say mouse and keyboard is easier, even though that's what some people will hear. What I'm saying is that SMG dominance is even greater on PC, where people can accurately shoot well past the aim assist drop-off range due to a lack of recoil. I would actually argue, in my PC friends' defense, that using an SMG up close is harder on M&K because you have to have really good target tracking. But anyways, the bottom line here is that the popular SMGs are outperforming their competition by a mile. Sidearms aren't cutting it against them. Hand cannons are losing duels to them. And the way SMGs seamlessly pair with a more movement-based dynamic playstyle also contributes to their lethality. So what do we do about them? Do we need some broad sweeping nerfs to SMGs? That's where I want to zero in now. The thing is, outside of the outliers, I think SMGs overall are fairly well balanced. The ones with extra zoom and other innate perks that help them bypass the intended weaknesses of SMGs, those are the ones causing the problem. If it were up to me, I think I'd go for a couple of targeted nerfs instead of broad sweeping ones. I would make the stability stat value on SMGs much more important so people actually care about something other than range. Make it so that the stability value really does affect the overall ease of use of SMGs. So a lower stability value should mean more visual recoil and more talent then to keep it under control. Then I would look at the problem children and drop their base stability values. That way people will start saying, hey, maybe I shouldn't run rangefinder on my Ikelos. Maybe I need dynamic sway and tap the trigger instead. You know, if we force players to make hard choices with their roles, that will help alleviate the equip and profit situation that we have going on right now with the big 3 SMGs. And I think that would lead to more overall weapon diversity in PvP, more sidearms being picked, more hand cannon and sniper combos being picked, more auto rifles even. Anytime the game makes the choice for the player, diversity suffers for it. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the current state of SMGs in PvP right now. But what do you think? Am I out of line? Do these SMGs deserve to stay at the top of the meta right now? You tell me what you think in the comments below, and remember to try to stay civil. Thanks as always for watching the video. If you enjoyed the discussion, then please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribe for additional Destiny 2 content. And remember, I only proposed targeted nerfs that would affect the outliers and no other SMGs at all. So most SMGs wouldn't even be affected. So remember that before you crucify me, please. I love you all. Be warm and well fed, my friends. And I hope to catch you in the Crucible.
Look at that, bro. Oh, nice. Easy.
Well, you killed the laggy guy, so that's something.
Oh, he got the red.
He thought he had green, he doesn't.
Get him.
The melee whips, but you're still alive. Let's go. He's gonna play the other res probably.
He's on the left. You see him?
No.
Get him.
Child's gonna get him.
Child. The child.
Oh, the monarch. Play time, play time.
Yes. Look at that.
Easy 1v3s out here.
Let's go, baby.
Close.
Never.
You know, it's just, it's how I do things, you know.